You have passion. I think it's great. But you got to think about your future when you're starting a family. Today, all of these people, tens of thousands of them, won't know why they didn't get that job, won't know why they can't join a board, or they couldn't get a loan, or they couldn't join a nonprofit. It's because of what you did in the last 48 hours. I'm really sorry for them. And I teach at colleges and universities, and I tell these young students, we're in a new era of AI, high-resolution imagery.
Leary warning that student protesters are trashing their job chances, adding that when it comes to their futures, they are screwed. Shark Tank investor and O'Leary Ventures chair Kevin O'Leary is here with us now. Kevin, thanks for being here. Why are they screwed? Is it because, I mean, a lot of them are wearing masks, they're trying to hide their identity. Do you think that'll work?
It used to work back in the 60s and 70s because it was only recorded on 16mm film. Today, all of this video, security cameras are at 1080p and 4K resolution, extremely high resolution that allows you to use AI protocols to identify people by the iris, or just a partial exposure of the face. Do you ever wonder how they captured every single person that marched on the Hill and the insurgents? Now, whether they arrested or not didn't matter, but every single individual on that hill eventually was identified using this AI technology today. It's very available, it's inexpensive, and I use it as an employer every time we have a candidate in the executive suite. We do a deep dive and we find out where you came. We're looking for what you say on your resume matching your reality of your life. And obviously, I don't care what side you're on in the protest, but if you're fighting police, burning flags, wrecking properties, breaking through windows, I'm going to know that. And so is the government, so is everybody else. So think about that. That's all I'm telling these young people. Think about it, because it's not free.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. The left is learning the hard way that, hey, sometimes you got to be careful what you ask for, okay? You might just get a taste of your own medicine. And the medicine that the left is getting a taste of that they, wanted to give to everybody else is cancel culture. Being canceled for having political opinions that, hey, a lot of people disagree with. Now, again, before these woke activists started to protest on college campuses across the country over this Israel-Palestine situation, they were essentially all for canceling people on the right, okay? Canceling people on the right for having political opinions that they don't find to be acceptable. Like, for example, if you don't believe the outcome of the 2020 election was fair and you decided to peacefully protest at the Capitol in order to make your voice heard, they don't believe that you should be able to have a normal life, right? They have no problems with this idea that your employer should fire you, that you shouldn't be able to get a job, that you shouldn't be able to feed yourself, that you should not be able to have a regular, normal life just like every other American who expresses their free speech rights. No, you should not be able to do that because, hey, you protested for the wrong thing, okay? This is what the left was pushing for the last 3 or 4 years. Now, all of a sudden, there are people that want us to boo-hoo, whine, and cry for these woke student activists who apparently are on the wrong side of protest in 2024. And when I mean my wrong side, I mean like they're not on America's side, right? The right side is America's side, okay? That is, as far as I'm concerned, okay, in regards to this conflict, the right side of this conflict is America, right? For me personally. But anyways, yeah, they're not on the right side of this conflict. So therefore, people like Kevin O'Leary are saying, look, man, like, a lot of you guys are ruining your future, okay? You're ruining your future because you're out here protesting in the street and you are basically showing employers that you are troublemakers, that you are prone to committing acts of violence, or at the very least being agents of chaos when it comes to issues like this. And it could potentially negatively affect a company and whether or not they want to hire you. And the reality is that we live in 2024 where we have a lot of technology available to be able to identify people who participate in these protests. And the fact is that, yeah, it will be used against you. And apparently this is now a controversial thing for somebody like Kevin O'Leary to say, but it wasn't all that controversial when the left was supporting this type of cancel culture when it was directed towards peaceful protesters on January 6th.
Appreciate Kevin O'Leary being honest about how nefarious he and other employers are. So apparently they do deep, dark web searches on you guys. That sounds so comforting. And he says, we have enough AI that we can check your retina no matter what mask you're wearing. So it's Big Brother. And if you dare ever do a peace protest, the establishment knows, and they know you're not the kind of soulless, shameless piece of crap that they'd like to hire. And to be fair to Kevin O'Leary, those are the type of people he does want to hire. Hey, care about making money and have no morals at all. If you have a moral core, it could be a giant problem. Guys, if you want to, if it's not super clear already how terrible these human beings are that go around saying, if you ever cared about peace, I hate you so much, I'll never hire you. Imagine if the situation was reversed. There's been pro-Israel protests. Imagine if Kevin O'Leary went on television and said, if you're a Jew who ever went to support Israel in those protests, we have you on record. We know what your face looks like, we know what your eyes look like, and we're gonna make sure you never get a job in this town. I would hope that we would all say, that is the worst thing we've ever heard, and we condemn it, outrageous.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure you'd be hard pressed to find a clip of Chang defending peaceful protesters on January 6th who got canceled, who lost their jobs, who can't feed their families over the fact that they just peacefully protested. I'm pretty sure he wasn't out here defending them like he's defending the woke activists from these employers that are saying, hey, we might not want to hire you guys, okay? And that brings me to this story that we got to talk about out of ASU involving some woke activists who learned the hard way that, hey, I just ruined my life over nothing. Now, it must be noted that ASU decided to crack down on these protesters who decided to trespass on campus by setting up one of those dirty encampments, right? Those encampments where they just sit out all day and don't use the bathroom and don't shower. I mean, it's disgusting, to be quite honest with you. I mean, just the conditions of some of these encampments. So ASU said, no, you can't do this. This is trespassing, and decided to arrest these individuals. Now, again, it must be noted here that when these same lunatics were harassing and threatening Kyle Rittenhouse, okay, when he was thinking about coming to the university did nothing about it, right? They didn't arrest anybody. Nobody faced punishment. Again, another example of the double standard that you guys are saying, that there are some people in this country that tend to get special treatment, okay? When you protest against a certain country that's not the United States of America, these universities will arrest you, right? But if you protest against an actual American, like Kyle Rittenhouse, okay, they do nothing, okay? They're totally fine with it. In fact, they'll capitulate to your protest. They're totally fine with it. Again, it's just amazing how that works. I'm just saying, this is why I'm pro-America, okay? This is why I'm on the side of America. So with that being said, these ASU students were suspended. A lot of them were punished for what they did. And the punishment is so bad that a lot of these students are not going to be able to graduate. They're going to be forced to miss their final exams due to the fact that they were suspended for protesting illegally, right? And they tried to challenge it in court, and a judge ultimately rejected their challenge. Take a look.
Developing story right now at 6. ABC 15 was inside the courtroom after ASU students who were arrested 1 week ago at a pro-Palestinian protest just lost their request for a judge to reverse the university's discipline measures. This is separate from the trespassing charges they face for what authorities called illegal encampments. So here's the impact of what happened in court tonight. More than a dozen students were suspended, banned from campus, and banned from taking classes, even during final exams right now. We learned some of the suspended students are seniors, and we just spoke with one student who testified without being able to take those exams, she would fail her classes and would not be able to graduate.
I'm being restricted from a lot of things right now that I didn't expect to be for standing up for something that I believe in. You know, I have family coming in who I have to let them know to, you know, not come to my graduation ceremonies.
The judge said the students could not provide enough evidence to support their claims they suffered, quote, irreparable harm. So ASU's discipline for those students will remain.
Yeah, so now that their claim is denied, they're boohoo whining and crying about the fact that they just realized they ruined their lives basically over nothing, as Kevin O'Leary warned the woke activists about.
I mean, I'm a little disappointed. I'm being restricted from a lot of things right now that I didn't expect to be for standing up for something that I believe in.
Of course you didn't. And of course you didn't. And here's the thing. I kind of don't even blame these students to a certain extent because like I told you guys, they've been allowed to get away with so much in this country up until now that, hey, of course, they're emboldened. They think we can do whatever we want. We don't have to follow the rules. And in the case of these ASU students, again, how many stories have I done about these woke activists on this campus losing their minds, protesting Kyle Rittenhouse? I did a story about the girls that were protesting the white guys sitting in the multicultural center, right? So you got these activists that are able to get away with this nonsense, and all of a sudden now they can't get away with it, and they're shocked. Pikachu face, which, I mean, hey, again, I don't blame them. I would be shocked too. Because, again, if it was Kyle Rittenhouse they were protesting against, they could sit out there lawn all day long. ASU wouldn't give a damn. They wouldn't say shit, right? They wouldn't say anything at all. But because of the protests of the country, okay, all of a sudden now it's a problem. So, again, this is why these protests, and again, the response to them is just frustrating all around, right? In order for me not to lose my mind over the double standard, over the fact that clearly and obviously nobody gives a damn about protecting conservatives in this country, okay? That's why I have to take a step back, okay? I really do. Because otherwise, if I get too emotional about it, I'll lose my mind. Because the double standard is in your face. Nobody cares when these same acts of violence, when these same individuals are protesting and harassing conservatives. Nobody cares, okay? Nobody gives a damn when it happens to Christians. But when it happens to a certain other group of people, right, all of a sudden, you know, you got all this stuff happening, right? It's fascinating.
You know, I have family coming in who I have to let them know to, you know, not come to my graduation ceremonies. I am glad that there is a guarantee that my courses will be taken care of, so I don't have to worry necessarily about my graduation requirements and the fact that I will earn my degree as I have spent the past 4 years doing, but I'm just disappointed. I mean, I'm a 2020 high school grad, so I wasn't able to walk then, and so you know, here it is. I'm not able to walk now.
Knowing, you know, what you know now, and you know, like you said, you were standing up for a cause. Would you do it again?
I mean, yeah, I would. I was doing what I believed was right, and I still believe it to be right. I would stand up for the cause again, even if it means something negative to me, because like the cause is so much harm has been done to all of those people already. I am safe. I am fine. I might not graduate, and that might harm future job prospects and stuff like that, but I'm not I'm not like in physical danger. I'm not constantly worried about being hurt or being forced from my home or anything like that. I would absolutely stand up again and protest again.
Yeah, so here's the thing. I just wish that if we're going to have the standard of, well, if you protest peacefully, then your life shouldn't be ruined. Let's apply that across the board, right? Let's apply that to conservatives as well, too. My biggest issue here, again, is that we are seeing actions that are being taken that were not taken when conservatives were subject to these types of threats of violence, these types of protests, or when conservatives protest for causes that they believe in, right? They don't get the benefit of the doubt. That's my biggest issue. So now, you know, it's hard for me to come out here into defend these leftists and to say, hey, well, hey, I'm not necessarily sure if your life should be ruined over trespassing, but hey, you definitely would think my life should be ruined, okay, if I protested something and got arrested and you politically disagree with my protest, okay? Again, this is what these people have been pushing for the last 4, 5, 6 years. This type of cancel culture, and they're experiencing it, okay? And sometimes, again, you got to just give these people what they want. That's the only way to red pill these people. Give them what they want. Oh, this is what you want? You want to cancel each other? All right, cool. And this is why I just report it, right? I just report it and move on. But in all seriousness, though, I mean, when it comes to these woke activists, right? I mean, from an employer's perspective, it's like, well, yeah, why would I hire you if you are showing that you could potentially disrupt the operations of my company, right? You could potentially make my company lose money because of your activism. See, here's the thing about conservatives. Conservatives get canceled, but conservatives aren't protesting on the job, right? Conservatives aren't holding sit-ins at their jobs, okay? Because they actually care about feeding their families, right? Conservatives aren't that dumb, okay? But we still face the brunt of cancel culture. The left, on the other hand, these idiots will protest on the job. They'll do a sit-in at work. So, yeah, I mean, from an employer's perspective, you've shown that, well, you're so passionate about this issue that you will basically express your political viewpoints at work to the point where you will disrupt the operations of the company, right? Why would I do that? And I think that's the problem that a lot of these woke activists are going to face when it comes to trying to get a job, is that a lot of jobs are going to say, well, we may or may not agree with you politically. We may or may not agree with your free speech rights, but you don't have free speech on the job, okay? It doesn't apply on the job. And these people have shown that they will do this on the job, right? So, I mean, it's one of those things where, to me personally, it's not something that I would have done, right? If I agree with their protest, which I don't, right? It's just not something I would have done. I just would have thought more about my future and the fact that, hey, it's not worth it. There's no amount of protesting that I'm going to do personally that's going to change the outcome of what I'm protesting about. So therefore, it's probably best for me to look out for myself and my future family and not to ruin my life at the age of 18, 19, 20 years old. Like, it just doesn't make sense for me to do that. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.